Good afternoon. It's been a while since I've been on YouTube here. I wasn't going to make a video, but I had some good friends that wanted to see a video. So, well, here goes. It's not very entertaining, but, well, it's a rainy day today. So let's get started. We are supposed to have a nor'easter tonight and tomorrow. And, Saturday, I went to start my generator, my Champion 3500 4,000 watt, 3500 continuous, 4,000 peak, and I've had it for like 8 years maybe. I've always shut the valve. I have 2 valve shutoffs on it, gas shutoffs, and I always drain the, to make sure the carburetor's empty and I put it away. Use stable 360 in it and everything else. I went to start it Saturday morning. And it started right up, but it surged immediately. It never surged before. And no matter where I put the choke, I can almost shut the choke off, and it usually runs, but when you put any load on it at all, it just goes like that. It's just constant. Not real down to, maybe that's a little exaggerated, but, it's up and down, up and down, up and down. So in other words, it's not going to be putting out 60 or 61 cycles. It's going to be putting out anywhere from 50 to 70 at that rate. And you can't have microwaves or any sensitive electronics plugged into it because you got an AVR, an automatic voltage regulator, but that will not solve the situation for the frequency. 2 different things. So, even with the AVR, your voltage is going to go up and down anyway, so it would probably run the refrigerator because basically that's just the motor. I don't think it would hurt it, but we got a new microwave. You can see the other one out there on the bench, which works, and it's probably about 5 or 6 years old, but it runs very hot on the sides, and it's a little noisy running. So we got a new one, and of course buttons are smaller to push and everything else, but like these kind of microwaves, they have sensitive electronics in them, so you can't be having a generator that's surging like that and going up and down, up and down. It used to be that I could run the choke halfway on it, anything that did that, and it ran fine, but in this case it doesn't. I worry about the wind. We need the rain. The brook is just about dry, so my reliable generator, which I keep in the gen house here, is the one I'm talking about. And I have a Coleman 1850 right down here, which would not start. And my neighbor was very kind to take it. It's starting to rain again. And I was going to give it to him, and he wouldn't take it. And he and his brother, I want to thank those fellows for doing it. They would not take any money. And I didn't expect it back. And I came back from getting my fish at the local pizza house, and it was running in the yard. I said, "What do I owe you? You don't owe me anything." "Oh, come on, I got to give you something." He wouldn't take anything. But you can see the brook is pretty well dry here. So I want to thank Ben and Rick. Great guys. Great people. I'll tell you, that's all I can say. Thank you very much. But the big generator is the one I got to get taken care of. And what I'm going to probably do, get back into here, what I'm going to probably do is... I can't clean a carburetor. I just don't have the eyes for it. And I watch a channel called James Condon, Condon. He does nothing but generators and sometimes other small engine jobs. He tears them down. He does everything. He changes the rotors on them, the AVRs, and he works on the engines and the carburetors. He rebuilds. I have zero luck repairing a carburetor. They either are worse or they don't work at all. So while it's surging, it's usable, but I took and plugged in my skill saw with the choke about halfway where it didn't surge too much. As soon as I put this plugged in the saw and used it, it started surging again. So I don't even think it would run a refrigerator. So I'm hoping we don't lose power, because if I have to buy another generator, well, where am I going to put it? It's got to fit in the gen house, which I just showed you. And the gen house is the slide out, where I slide the generator out, and where the generator sits is 23 inches wide. That's the wheelbase. So you can't put a 5,000 watt generator in there instead of a 3,500 watt, because it's physically larger, and the exhaust has to come out the end and not on the side, like a lot of them do. So I made a custom exhaust on that. If you look back on my videos, you'll see them, because the custom exhaust comes out here. And if I take the camera and show you up underneath there, you could probably see the exhaust pipe coming through. I don't know, it's pretty dark in there, but this is a custom job here. So let me just open this up. And I designed this for this generator. I built this after I had the generator. It's a 3,500 watt continuous 4,000. We don't have a well pump, of course, because the water's supplied by the park. So anyways, we don't have that. But it's got a 30 amp RV plug that goes to the electrical panel with a manual main breaker shutoff. So anyways, this just surges. So I can't do anything with it. I'm getting soaked out here. So when I got this generator, go back in here. I can get soaking wet here. Can't do nothing with the shed either. It's just a disaster area. I don't even want to put the light on for you to show you. When I got that, I bought it, like I say, 8, maybe 10 years ago at Tractor Supply, and I paid $300, or just a hair over $300, maybe $320 or something like that. For it, it's gasoline, of course, and I thought about getting the propane one. However, I would have to call my gas company, because that's the gas tank here. I think it's a 250 pounder, whatever you call it. I'm not sure. That's for cooking and heating. And you can't run a little, like a grill tank on a, like a 3,000 or 5,000 watt generator, because it's only going to probably run about an hour. And I need something that's going to run overnight if we lose power overnight. So, I'd hate to. There's nothing wrong with the generator. I know it's the carburetor, because what I did is I went and got one of these little pumps from my local hardware store, and it pumps the gas right out of the generator and into a can, and then I put fresh gas in, and I use Stable 360. So I thought maybe that might do it. So I spent most of the morning on Saturday, running around and getting fresh gas and dumping the other gas out into containers. And the gas that was in it is about 2 years old, but that's stable, and it always ran great, no surging. So it's obviously got some dirt in the carburetor. I have a filter on it, external filter, as well as 2 shutoff valves, because it didn't seem to want to shut off completely with one valve. So I've done everything right, and so I put fresh gas in it, and fresh gas didn't correct the problem. So I was trying to get the little Coleman 1850 that I showed you started, and I couldn't get that started. I was pumping, I was pulling and pulling and pulling, it wouldn't start. And I was going to give it away to my neighbor, but he didn't want it, so he fixed it instead, which is very nice of him. I want to thank those fellows again for doing that. And, you know, I know you do watch my videos, and that's another request. They wanted to see some videos from me, so this is why I'm making it, but unfortunately it's not entertaining, but it just gives a little insight as to what I have been doing. My wife is supposed to come home. She's still in rehab, and she's been there 2 months already. Sometime next week, and I hope it's after the storm, and I hope it isn't tomorrow because the weather's supposed to be bad, and we could even lose power overnight. Hopefully not, because I would have to try to fire up the Champion, which I can do, but it's going to be a problem. The furnace, if it comes on, is mechanical. It's propane, but it's mechanical, and so is the refrigerator. So you wouldn't want to run computers because the UPSs, even with the Champion, would go click, 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 click. That's all it would do. So you have to bypass the UPS supply and plug the computer directly into the wall. But we don't run the computers when we are running the generator. The only thing we use is the lights, the refrigerator, and when it was running good, we used the microwave, which was that one right there on the table that you see. It still basically works. It's just noisy, and sometimes when the rotary tray goes around, it makes a scraping sound inside. I don't see it when you take the platter off, so it's probably inside the microwave somewhere. So, and it buzzes loud too, like the panel is loose or something somewhere along the line inside. So we decided to buy a new one, and that's what we did. So, anyways, that's what's going on. That's what's going on here, folks. I'm still alive and kicking. I just wanted to let you know that I'm still around, and Dan of Cool Blue Lights is feeling a lot better. He had some health issues, and I'm glad of that. And he wanted to see how I was doing, so I figured I'd throw this video out and, you know, give you an update on things. I haven't been doing very much. I haven't worked in the shop in at least 2 months or more because I've been still running every day to see my wife at rehab, which is about 14 miles each way. And, you know, usually filling the car up twice a week, because you get about 20, 21 miles to the gallon in a minivan, which ain't bad, you know. So, and that's the way it is. So we have kind of worried, you know, because when my wife gets home, how is she going to, you know, is she going to go back in again? Because that's what happened before. She has the lymphedema, I think it's called, and, you know, the fluid in her legs, which with the swelling is down quite a bit, but when she gets back home, it'll probably build up again because she's in the recliner where she's in the rehab center. They got different things there and they keep her going and moving and stuff like that. So that's what she has to do, is to be moving around more when she gets home. Because when she comes home, the ramp is a little too steep, and she won't be able to make it up there on a walker. She's doing real good. She's walking the hallways and stuff with the wheelchair behind her as an assistant. She gets, her legs get weak and shaky. She's got to sit down, and the therapist is going behind her and following her with the wheelchair. So that's how they do that. And so they figure, well, to be safe, they're going to bring her home by ambulance and with a gurney and bring her in like they did when they took her out. So, and that's it. So, I try to get you a little better video than standing in the doorway here. And I wasn't going to make a video. I've been thinking about this for quite a while. But my neighbor really wanted to see some videos. So I said, well, you know what, I will. And at the same time, I'm going to thank him. I want to thank Ben and Rick the park owner's sons for doing this. I can't say enough. I appreciate it. I did not ask to have it repaired. Matter of fact, I said, you guys have it. Take it, please. Because I'm never using it. I haven't used it since I got the Champion generator. So I have never used it. It was no gas in it. I drained it all out and put it away in the little, where you saw it, where I showed you. And I figured, well, I was having problems with the Champion, so I figured, well, maybe I can get the Coleman 1850 started. And even though it's only about 1,500 watts, not 1,800 like what you'd think it would be, it's about 1,500 continuous, but it struggles at that. But it would run the refrigerator, but it doesn't have an AVR. In other words, an automatic voltage regulator. The Champion does. So when unloaded, it could put out over 120 volts. And that's just the way they are. And the waveform has a lot of harmonics in it. And when you look at it in an oscilloscope, you'll see what they call it looks like a raggedy waveform. Sine wave, but not a good clean sine wave like you would get on your house power. So I have scoped it years ago, and I have a video on that years ago. That should be up there somewhere. But anyways, and the Champion also is the same way. They have a lot of harmonics in it too. And unless you get an inverter generator, like a Honda, which is very, very, very expensive, and when those inverters go, it costs you more to have that replaced than to buy a whole new generator. So even if we could afford it, I would never go for an inverter generator. They're great for camping, a small one, because they're very quiet. So anyways, I've talked long enough. I can't even talk today. I cannot even talk right. I got to have a little laughter here. So we're hoping for the best. We're not hoping we don't lose power. And we still got power here in the shop, in the shed rather. And I got 2 small dehumidifiers. One was in Tommy's room, but it never collected any water in his room. So I got another one just like that in the shop, and it is getting water out of it. And I had to, last week, I had to climb up on the roof, up here. My knees are shot. I had to climb up on the roof, and I put 5 more tubes of roofing cement and also wet patch up in the valley up there. And I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to leak. So I did that. Well, it's not raining too hard. We'll go back here, see what's going on. So there's not much going on. So the valley, of course, is in there. That's where the problem is, because like I said before, the original shed, the old shed, had OSB, Oriental shitboard is what we call it, because I didn't know any better when I built it. And this has got 1/2-inch plywood. But where the OSB board was on the old shed, it got wet underneath, and it's like a sponge, and that area flexes bad when you walk on it. So I've been doing that. My knees can just about get me up there, but somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. Certainly can't hire anybody. All right, I'm probably getting water on the lens in this camera. I hope not. So I think we're going to end the video. I think we're going to end it. Going to go back in the house and just hope for the best. You might be able to see that red blinker light down there at the corner. Well, when we lose power, that goes out. And when we get it back in, then the light comes on, and that's when I know to take the switch over the transfer switch, so that I can use the line power and disconnect the generator from the main. So we got a manual transfer switch, so everything's safe that way. So that's how I can tell when the power's back on again, is when that light is flashing. So when we lose power, that light goes out. Most of the time, we lose power, that light is out. So not sure where the power comes in, but I was told by the power company years ago that we're at the end of the line. But our line voltage has been very good, usually around 120, 121, and that's very rare. All year it's been very good. So a lot of times when we lose power, and I hope it don't happen this time, is when we lose power and when they put it back on, the line voltage is lower, and it seems to stay that way. I hope that's not the case this time. But if we lose power, it will be overnight. So naturally, if it's pouring rain, I can't come out here and try to hopefully best to get the generator going without getting drenched. So if we lose power overnight, we'll just hope that the freezer stays frozen. I do know in the past, when I used the generator, and I only used it during the day and the evening, and then I shut it off like 10 o'clock at night, and started up again about 7 o'clock in the morning, the ice cream was soft, and stuff started defrosting. So don't believe people when they say you can get 24 to 48 hours if you don't open your freezer. That's not so. Your items will defrost quickly if it's not running for a couple of hours at least. Of course, it may depend on the freezer itself too. This is a regular house freezer, a refrigerator freezer combination. It's not a deep freezer, and that might be a little different story. Okay, I think we are going to end this now. I want to thank you for watching. Take care, everybody, and we don't know about making videos again, but we might, you never know. We'll see how things go when my wife comes home and stays home, and I have to go out back to the hospital and rehab center again. That would be great. So I haven't been exactly cheerful with all this going on and everything else and other things. Car is due for emissions, and the damn engine check light state keeps coming on and off, and it's the evap system, and we can't afford to have that done. So I just hope when I go in to have it done that the light is not on. So that'll be November 5th when that's done doing, when that is due. So always something. All right, I'm gonna let you go. We'll talk to you later. Whatever it is you do, don't put up tomorrow, because you might like it today and you might want to do it again tomorrow. Good day.